Good day, everybody, and welcome back to another video or a vlog from my allotment garden. My name is Rachel, and I'm reminding myself to start the video properly, not in the middle, because I have had a flurry of new subscribers since my last video. It's always really surprising and very exciting when I have little flurries of new subscribers. So thank you so much if you are watching this video and you have only recently subscribed. It really does make a difference. My channel is super small, which is perfectly fine for me, but it's always nice to be able to welcome new friends. I have enlisted the shovel mic to make sure that you can all hear me because it's a bit of a windy day today. I didn't plan to be recording right now. I actually only popped into the allotment to do some watering and just check on things. My gardening day was due to be tomorrow, but what I've noticed whilst watering is that there are a lot of tomatoes that need to be harvested. This year is going to be a great year for tomatoes. Yeah, it's just, I've picked quite a lot already, but there's another batch ready to go. Not such a good year for cucumbers. So while I'm about it, I'm going to do a bit of cucumber maintenance, and I'm sitting inside the frame of my new raised bed. So I need to do a little bit more work to that. Will I do that today? Will I do that another day? Who knows? So follow along if you want to find out what's happening in my allotment this week. They are neither looking especially strong, nor are they climbing up the trellis that I built them. So I'm going to try and retrospectively create them a climbing string from the base of the plant up to the trellis, and hope that that encourages them to grow in that direction. Maybe I'll get a cucumber this year. Job is now complete, along with quite a significant trim and tidy up to the cordon tomatoes at the back of this bed. Look at the weight of fruit on that one. wanted to show you what I've got in my mini greenhouse because I did some new sowings recently at the beginning of the month. We are coming to the end of the period that they call the second spring, so there's still loads of things that can be sown. Fast growing things for this year and also slow growing things for next year. This is a bit of a mixture. So I've got 2 rows of beetroot. Forgive their wind-swept appearance, I have just sprayed them with the hose, but we've got some golden beetroot, some red beetroot, some pak choi, spring onions, and some turnips right at the front here. So, and then I've already got cabbages, kale, purple sprouting broccoli, and a herb shelf. This is mostly basil and coriander. I think it's only basil and coriander, actually. So, still time to get some sowing done if you were getting worried and thinking that you'd missed the boat. You absolutely haven't. Need a little bit more thought about what it is. Anything that's fast growing, anything that's a winter variety will be absolutely fine. So you can ignore a lot of the packets. Anything that you would typically sow in March, April, that you would eat quickly. So peas, carrots, lettuces, they can all still be sown right now. So good luck and let me know what it is that you choose to do. I'm going to direct sow some French beans here. They're a purple variety that I bought in the French supermarkets a couple of years ago. I'm direct sowing them here because this is where I sowed or planted out my leeks some weeks ago, and for the second year in a row I have no leeks left. I don't know where they keep disappearing. I don't know why they keep disappearing, but I planted some big clumps of leeks here and there are now 0 leeks. So it's too late to do anything about leeks. I'm just going to try and sow some dwarf French beans, direct sown. I'm sowing them quite generously because this is old seed. I'm not sure of the germination. I did try to sow some of these earlier in the year and I didn't get any, and I don't know if it's because the seed didn't germinate or because they just got slugged. But we're going to have another go as I've got a little gap, and dwarf beans are still fine to sow at this time of year. Returning viewers will know that I have a ongoing problem with algae in my tiny pond. And in an attempt to try and solve it, I came across an organic method, which is to grow watercress in the pond. And you can do this just by using store-bought watercress and dropping it in the water, which is what I've done here. I did this about 3 days ago, and some of it's dying, but there's also new growth on some of these watercress cuttings. So I think this is actually becoming successful. I'm going to monitor it over the next couple of weeks and see how it goes. You can see that the algae has grown back just as quickly in those 3 days. I did a pulled out a load a few days ago, and this is how much has grown back since. And I dropped the watercress in straight after. But I'm suspiciously hopeful that this is going to be a success, so I will let you know. I remembered why I stopped using this microphone. I've just done a whole piece, and the microphone had disconnected itself, so I'm going to have to re-record it. In fact, I'll probably just do a voiceover, so sorry about that, but technology. Anyway, moving swiftly on, I have one last little job that I'm going to do before I go in for today, and that is to cut some sage. This is an ordinary sage plant. I've got a purple sage, I've got a tricolour variegated sage, and I've got a golden sage, which is not very well at the moment. But this guy is doing amazing. So I'm going to cut a load of this, take it in, dry it in the dehydrator, and then I might make salt with it. I'll leave some for soups and stews over winter. Might freeze some, and yeah, but it's so, I love it. I love having sage in the winter time. It just goes so well with everything. I've really paid almost zero attention to any recipe where it designates that you have to have a particular herb, because half the time it doesn't matter. So I just keep a dry jar of mixed herbs from the garden all year round and use it in everything. Yeah, and it's just wonderful. I love it. So anyway, we're going to do that now. Come on then, Eric. You come in. You come in. Hello again on the next day. I'm coming to you from my garage because I need to try and figure out how to get these tables out when they're holding up absolutely everything that's in my garage. It is a gloriously warm day and sunny outside, and I'm doing a dark inside job. I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to show you because I think it's just going to be a chore. And I'll probably swear a lot, which is never good for camera. So I'm just going to show you a quick before and possibly an after, or maybe just a bit of a rant. We'll see what happens. So this is what we're working with. This is everything piled up in no particular order. There's a box that was meant to go to the animal shelter months, if not years ago. Boxes of stuff I haven't unpacked yet. There's actually also just boxes of rubbish, broken boxes. That's being held up by an empty broken box that needs to go to the tip. Camping stuff, decorating stuff, curtains that my parents donated me for my big patio tours, and yeah, ooh, tripped up. And then just clutter. In an ideal world, what I'd do is empty everything out and put it back in an organised way. But that is not the world in which I live, not the realm in which I inhabit. And so that's not what's going to be happening today. Sadly, we're just going to wing it and see how much mess we make. This ended up being nowhere near as painful as I thought it was going to be, and there's nowhere near as much stuff. It's just all really badly organised, so this feels like a good opportunity to change that. And it turns out this box is not an empty box at all. It's actually housing a dinner service, so I have to find a place for that to live inside. So I can't do very much more about this right now. This is going to become a problem for another day. The core objective of getting this out has been achieved. And now it's time to try and get it in the greenhouse. And then that, believe it or not, is a special project for later. Here we are in situ at last. Still needs a really good wash. I tried to record myself carrying this in here for you just to prove that it was me who did it all by myself. However, transpires hyperlapsing uses up all of my phone memory, and so it wouldn't record any more video for a bit, but it's in now, and I'm going to have a cold drink before I even think about putting the other things back in the garage or coming out with some soapy water to wash that down. Is it me, or is there a bit less algae in the pond today than there was yesterday? Or is that just wishful thinking? Look at this, beautiful. I have just been lured to my parents' house with the promise of cake. So all of my plans for the rest of the day have just been thrown to the side. I'm going to go and stuff my face with some cake. So taking this opportunity to say farewell and thank you so much for watching, just in case I don't come back, which is likely. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.